you go into the Zoom platform. This is good testing for us too,
Yeah, this
I
is really good.
think.
I'm taking notes mentally.
Okay, yeah. And when we do the summit also. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what I need to do is figure out how in the world do I mute? Because this is going to be kind of, there we go. Like, how do I mute the Zoom itself? Or I'm sorry, the YouTube. Okay.
Oh, right. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll have to mute the YouTube when you go up. And I just muted the tab on my browser.
Okay. Oh, I see YouTube up here on mine as well.
Did it
Interesting.
pop up? Okay.
Yeah, it says host. The content of this meeting is being sent to YouTube. That's what I get on my end.
Oh, that's
Oh
exciting.
my
Okay.
God. Figuring things out.
We're figuring it all out. Okay. All right. So maybe I'll start the official recording for the audio podcast. Okay. All
Sounds
right.
great. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Hi everyone. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm Amy Sikarskie. I'm here today with my new friend Allison Eaton. Hi Allison.
Hey, Amy. So happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, I'm happy too. We were just sharing, we can feel all the butterflies, all the excitement. And it's my first time doing a live through Zoom over on YouTube. So we were just testing out the equipment as well. And if anybody's catching us on the live, hello. Welcome to the impromptu. So it's so fun. So Allison and I met through the Oracle platform, and we just like I just felt such a good vibe from you. It was so cool how we met, and I think we met a couple of times. We were on the same group sessions that we do every month with practitioners, and then you and I are both hosting a summit coming up in April. So, oh my gosh, we're going to talk all about that. But I
Yes.
would love for you to
So
share with
excited.
our listeners, yeah, a little bit about yourself and anything that comes through.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for having me. My name is Allison Eaton, and I am a Reiki master teacher, an Akashic Records teacher. I've been a yoga teacher trainer for many years, just always interested in the metaphysical since I was a wee kid and fascinated by the other world. And, it's been a lot of learning and growing into these gifts, and nothing makes me happier than helping others to activate their gifts and empower their inner light, their inner healer, and their ability to connect with their intuition and their inner power. So, I know that your crew, your audience is very much into the healing realms and the metaphysical. So my intention here is to hold space, send light out into the ethers, and just share and for the highest good.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I feel it. It feels so amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
And we were just sharing that our teams are around. I could feel the energy shift right as we're connecting, and it's actually getting kind of strong. So, as a channeler, it's like a lot of happiness, energy flowing through.
I feel
Um,
this every time I connect with you. It's just like bing, like they're just like dancing and having such a good time. And you're right, it just lifts the frequency super high. So I've got my grounding crystals here as
Good
well
idea, girl.
too.
Good idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember one of our Zooms, or maybe we were chatting on WhatsApp, and I was like, have we actually met before? Because of heart, I felt like I knew you before Oracle, before we met. And
Same.
so I'm
It's so
thinking,
interesting. Yeah, because we haven't met in the physical yet, but it's
yeah.
like we're definitely some star sister. And I love how you said it. It was like maybe it's from the future. And
Oh, that's
absolutely,
right.
that like hit and resonated very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to be somewhere else in time. And so, yes, that's definitely it. And then, therefore, our families, our star families, our guides would be like totally all about this happy reunion, this reconnection.
Absolutely. I know. I know. It just feels so good. It just feels like divine timing, divine connection. And I feel like I'm so inspired by your mission and who you are as a person and the divine services you're offering and inspiring in the world. And I just feel like it's just such a beautiful divine connection. I feel like together, like we are amplifying that service and it can help a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you. Likewise, for sure. So I'm so grateful to meet with you, how we connected. And I'm curious, like I would love to hear because we really haven't had like a full one-on-one conversation. It's been a lot in our group settings. And so that's one reason I wanted to have you on the podcast was to share everything you're offering, get to know a little bit about you. And you mentioned when you were young that you felt that connection to spirit. Do you
Yeah.
have any fun stories or memories that you can share with us?
Absolutely. So I can remember even way back, honestly, like in the crib, like having these nonverbal, uh, I think they're more like visualizations and understandings that there were presences right above me and comforting me. And then when I was maybe like when I started talking 4 or 5 years old, I'd be playing in my room and I would hear these angelic voices say like everything's gonna be okay and you are loved, and it would come with like just such a comforting energy, and I would just listen, and it was just kind of like this, I didn't really have an outlet to share that with others, but so I just kind of kept it to
Mhm.
myself. Um, there are many times where I would have like a voice come to me like for 8 years when I was 8 years old. I remember I was just like brushing my hair in the mirror and I heard this voice come to me and say, one day you're going to leave all this behind, but don't worry, you're going to be helping a lot of people. And I didn't really know what that meant. And it felt like it came with a very loving, positive vibration. But I remember that to this day. And, when I was about 24-ish, about 24, I had just graduated from college. I was in upstate New York where I was born. And I just had this like feeling like, okay, I've done everything society told me to do. I
Yeah.
went to like 16 years of school. Now I'm in the public relations world because I went to college for that. I moved out to Utah and started really delving into a yoga
Okay.
practice. And yeah, as soon as I had done a little bit of yoga when I was a teenager, but when I got out to Utah, there was all these amazing classes. And I just remember in Shavasana having that first like awakening that some people call it a Kundalini awakening, but just like an energy flow through your body, an automatic frequency shift. And I just had this like knowingness that I'm supposed to do something different than what I was taught or programmed.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I had that revelation, I started searching online and I found a yoga school and decided I was going to go learn to be a yoga teacher trainer. Honestly, wait, I had already been teaching yoga for about 6 months, but I wanted to delve into a full-on spiritual community. And so I immersed myself in a month-long program in Mexico and ended up staying. So they invited me to stay and learn and train and become a teacher trainer, which I did for many years. And then, about 2 years into that, I started getting more into the energetics. I was always interested in chakras, meditation, and I remember I started talking to a lot of psychics at that time. And they would say, you've got this gift, you got that. And they would call me all different names, Diamond Child, Reiki 13, all these things. And, like when you're a star seed and you first hear from someone else what you are, you're like, oh my God, thank you. This puts all the pieces
Yes.
together. So the
Yes.
pieces started coming together. And I don't know how much further you want me to go into this story, but like this is where Reiki came to me, and then from there, the channeling and the Akashic and everything. But I was adjusting a Catholic priest who came to our yoga teacher training, adjusting him in child's pose, like pressing down on his hips in front of the class. We're doing these demos, and he comes out and he says, "You have very healing hands." And I was like, in that moment, I had an awakening, like, oh yeah, like this is what I'm supposed to do with my life.
Mm.
I'm supposed to be channeling healing energy. And as soon as I had that revelation, a Reiki master came into my life like within a month and got me in like introduced to Reiki and what it is. And then soon after that, I did some training in Canada. Honestly, I went up to North Vancouver, Canada, and trained with a wonderful, beautiful healer named Barb Weston. And then I went out into back to New York and did another Reiki master training with William Rand. And everything just happened really quickly after that. Like all of a sudden, I was doing a lot of Reiki sessions. I started teaching Reiki right away. It was a remembrance. For me, it was like
Mhm.
coming home to my star self, you could call it. And just like everything felt so right and flowing. And when you're in that frequency of and that clarity of who you are, everything just moves super fast. So that was in 2009, and it's been over 12 years now. And I've since helped and trained a couple thousand Reiki teachers, and we've recently formed a school called Inner Light Academy. It's really good vibes, lots of healers, lots of beautiful people on the path supporting each other. I just felt like there was a really strong call for it, especially right now with the chaos in the world, to have some
Right.
really good media where people can tap into that is full of love and light. So that's kind of like the progression. There's lots of other stories in there, lots of signposts, like when I was unsure of should I move to Mexico? Like at that time, like not a lot of people were jumping ship and just moving out of the country. I was young, but I just had this divine force saying, yes, this is absolutely right. This is going to work out. And I trusted that. And, I would have these signposts. So, signposts, my definition of that would be like when you're first jumping on a path or a new thing and you're unsure, you get all these like divine synchronicities.
Mhm.
Literally, I was driving down a road and I looked up at the sign and it said Bliss Street. And it was definitely not like Bliss Street. So I was like in some other dimension, or the dimension was calling out to me. Random things like that would happen, lots of synchronicities um, that just kind of help you know you're on the right path, because a lot of it is jumping into the unknown
Mm.
on the spiritual path, but you just have to trust that guiding force and trust your heart. And yeah, so
I love it. Oh my gosh, absolutely. I can relate to so much. And I don't think you know this about me. So wild. So I'm actually from Utah. I grew up there.
of
So,
course.
of
Oh my
course.
gosh.
So when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, of course. Okay. So I'm like super curious, like, where did you train? Like, what city? Where were you at? And then the year, because maybe I might have been there.
Okay, so I graduated college, I believe it was 20, about 2023, and by no 2013, sorry. And and then so I think within even like 6 months to a year, I had moved out with my partner, who was also from my hometown. He and a bunch of friends moved out for the skiing, right?
Oh,
And there's
yeah.
a whole clan of people out there. And I never
Mhm.
got much into the skiing. I did a lot of rock climbing, which was super fun and very spiritual. But I lived in Sandy, Utah. I lived in Big Cottonwood, Little Cottonwood, and boy, it's such a beautiful state. Oh my
It
gosh, I can't
is.
wait. I actually want to bring a retreat group there in the fall for Akashic Records, and working that out still because I'm feeling called to go back, which is so interesting that we have connected.
Yes.
My mind is blown. Synchronicities. Um, and so I was there and I trained, honestly, the first yoga training I had, it was just like a weekend training with a group called Yoga Fit that had come into Salt Lake City and they travel around and teach people in various cities. So that got me going as a yoga teacher, and I taught for about a year before I delved into the whole international moving.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I moved out before you were in town.
Okay.
So it's been a
Okay.
while. But I go back often. I have a lot of family there. And yeah, you lived in some really nice places close to the mountains and all of the skiing, all of that. I didn't get too much. Actually, I've never skied, but I've snowboarded went in high
Cool.
school, right outside of high school. And then we had moved. So yeah, but my husband goes back a lot for snowboarding, at least once a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the place to do it.
it is. It's the best snow.
Oh,
It's
that's
amazing.
awesome. Didn't
It
you know
is.
Utah is so spiritual and so beautiful and very angelic? It makes sense that you were born there. It's such a very angelic space. Um,
Oh, thank
mhm.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great it was a good experience. It was exactly what I needed. Like we talk about, I actually have a lot of questions for you. But like the memories when we're children and our guides and angels with us. And my culture and all that, we never used the term guides, but I knew there was a presence. And so I
Mhm.
had some really spiritual experiences too in that space. Yet when it was time to leave, it was like I need to go out into I call it the real world because really felt like there was this like bubble. They call it the Utah bubble. This was back in the, 80s, 90s, way back when. And it was like, okay, let's
Right.
go see what the rest of the world is all about. But I'm
Totally can relate to
grateful.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm grateful for that space. It was a very spiritually protected space in my childhood experience. And so it helped fortify and just help me understand my own energy and spirit energy. And then I actually trained for Reiki in 2001 in Utah before
Awesome.
I left. Yeah, so it was really cool. But I wanted to ask you, so when you were a child and you had all these memories and your guides were talking to you and you could feel like all that light around, do you have any knowing now? And I'll say that in that way because I did hypnosis and I went back and had memories come through from my adult perspective, right? So I could see it from both places. So I'm curious if you have any memories or emotions and thoughts where you would have a knowing if this was easy for you as a child, or did Earth seem really foreign? Like, have you been here many times before and could get your bearings? Or was this like, whoa, what are we doing?
Totally foreign.
Okay.
Totally foreign. Yeah. And I didn't know or really understand that people maybe didn't have the same perspective of me for a long time. So that was very confusing. Yeah, I definitely have felt like a fish out of water. Um, like I always, like, since I can remember, understood that we're all one and that, we're all this divine love. And, I would read the imprints and the thoughts that the adults were thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to a certain consciousness, like development, I could understand like that what was going on in their heads was not matching my reality. There was a lot of pain and suffering and turmoil in their thoughts. And
Mm-hmm.
that kind of freaked me out. I used to get like when I was really like 5 years old, before I got a handle on things, I would have headaches. I'd go into the kindergarten room and just get like a stomach ache. I think it's maybe picking up a lot of clairsentient, absorbing energies. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand why the kids were fighting in the elementary school. It made me really sad and made me really upset. And I didn't really have an outlet to describe any of these feelings. So I think that really kind of pushed me as an adult to delve into the spiritual practices that help to create a container, an
Mm-hmm.
understanding. But definitely, like, I feel like this is the first time on Earth. That was confirmed to me from a psychic. probably like, I don't know, 15 years ago. Um, I had started understanding a little bit because there wasn't a whole lot of information about star seeds back then out in the mainstream, but I started understanding from, I think it was Doreen Virtue's, one of her little
The
booklets that
little
said, if
one.
you ever, yeah,
Yes, I know the book.
you know the little book. She said, like, if you have a rainbow aura, then you're probably a star person and a Reiki person. I think this was before I even did Reiki. I don't remember, but very close to that time where I started learning. Um, and I met with one of our favorite psychics, and she said, "Yeah, you're from Arcturus," and I had no idea what that was or anything. I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "Have I been here before?" And she's like, "No, this is your first time here." And so, it's like you pick up these pieces of the puzzle along the way.
Mhm.
And from various intuitives and from your own connections. And that was one of the first times that someone confirmed the actual star seed for me. Before that, I had just reached out to a friend in the community, the spiritual community in Mexico. And I said to her, I opened up my heart. I was like, I feel like I don't belong here. I feel like this is all new to me, this earth stuff. And she's like, well, and she was an elder in the community, and she's like, there are these beings, they're called star people. And that's what they called them in her era, was star people.
Okay.
And she's like, you should read this book. And she gave me a book called The Star Person. And then, like just more confirmations along the way. Like I came out of a shamanic journey with a shaman, and he's looking at me in my eyes like this. He's like, I'm just coming out, and he's like, have you ever heard of star people before?
Wow. You're like, oh, hi. Let me come
Oh,
back.
hi. Yeah. Okay. It's all coming back. It's all coming back. And so, yeah, I definitely have felt very different. And like, this is brand new here for me. And always felt since I can remember that like I have a mission and I'm here to be of service. And
Mhm.
that has been like the going force that has kind of led me on my path, is how can I be of service?
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel like a free spirit, or is that something that, okay, yeah.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. I
I'm
mean, I was way free, more free even when I was younger. Like I was into everything, but I've had to learn boundaries around my freedom, honestly. So now I'm a little bit more protective of my energy. But
I was kind of wondering, I could feel that would be like your natural inclination to be a free spirit, but then there's so many rules and regulations and like societal, manners and pressure. It's like,
oh,
well, how
absolutely.
are you dealing with all that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. How do I still maintain that freedom? I'm very
Mhm.
brave. I'll just say stuff that comes through. Like, um, there's a force that won't stop me, even though there's like a lot of people that want you to act this way or that way. But
Yeah.
there's just this other force that pushes me forward. And if I try to conform, I get like my energy drops. I don't feel good in my mind, in my
Hmm.
body. And so that's
Hmm.
a guidance as well. So yeah, I think I've just learned over the years that and there was a while there where you were we kind of were in hiding, right?
Oh, yeah, for
As
sure.
as star people, as angels and star people. And now it feels like it's just kind of blowing up, and more people are awakening. And I mean, this is a message to all star seeds. It just feels like such a safe time to come out
Hmm.
and to learn more about your background. And it's really helping people. What I've noticed is that it's a service to others. So I think that's kept me going as well. But oh yeah, like, like even having to tell my family, like, I'm psychic or talk to angels and things like this, like it still freaks me out sometimes. Like, you know, but they're coming on board too. Like now they're taking my classes, and
Oh, I love
it's
it.
really cool. Yeah. And opening up to their abilities. And I've seen that happening over the years too. The more I just kind of claim it and integrate my truth, it inspires others to maybe access or open to parts of themselves that maybe they didn't give themselves the opportunity to.
Right, right. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have so many questions, of course. So your first awareness and connection was with Arcturus, and the message you got around like gave you information to confirm. Are you working with other star races as well? Do you have any past lives or, like star family and other star systems? Or can you just share, I guess, about that?
Yeah, for sure. And this all really started opening up organically, naturally when I started Reiki.
Mm,
Um, I would just understand if someone was a Pleiadian. I would just get the message, or you're an Orion. And these are before I even studied or knew what these places were or these beings. So they would start coming to me a lot in the Reiki sessions and in the Reiki classes. It was almost like they were speaking through me. And during my own self Reiki meditations, I've connected with Arcturians and Pleiadians, and they
mm,
have given me symbols to share with Reiki students. I would call them like non-traditional modern Reiki symbols that have certain frequencies. And I had no idea what was going on. I'm just like hanging out in this Reiki meditation, and this full-on alien face comes over my head over here in my mind's eye. And I'm like, oh, okay, hi. It was like my first introduction, like full on. And the ET gave me some personal information. It was like, don't look with your physical eyes, look with your inner eye, and then shared with me the first out of probably 4 or 5 Reiki symbols that I was guided to give to my students. And these are Reiki symbols that don't need attunements, but can be helpful to be attuned with it, and they can be shared as well. So, just like checking in with those guidelines. And so, yeah, a lot of it happened a lot through Reiki. And um, yeah, and then it's like the ones you've had incarnations with are the ones I think that come to you first.
Yeah.
So like angels and then Arcturians and then Pleiadians. And then like I would meet friends who were Syrian. So I start learning about their energy. And so then I was able to recognize them more when they come through. So now honestly, it's like my main ones are Pleiadians. I just find them so delightful to speak with. And Arcturians come through more in like sound and vibration, and they're a lot further away. And so I like to work with them in frequency healing. In terms of like information, the Pleiadians are just like boom, boom, boom right there.
Mhm.
But honestly, it's like whatever client I'm working with, their guides tend to come through. So I've got to meet different ones, like Andromedans for this person, Syrians, Orions for that person, Lyrans for that person. And so you get like a little taste when you're working with clients because they all have their own specific backgrounds. Also very
Right.
connected to the fairies as well. So I had a psychic reading a while ago. She said, actually, this one wasn't even a reading. She just came out and told me a friend of mine who's extremely shamanically psychic, and she's like, "Do you know you have elven blood?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's makes a lot of sense." And you get these
It
pieces
does.
of the puzzle. And then, um, yeah, opened up to the fairies in a channeling class a couple years ago, and it's just like an explosion of joy and laughter when that happens. So yeah, I feel like I connect with a lot of different beings, and I just kind of like depending on who I'm working with or what modality, like different ones will come through. And I also love the concept of, for example, the Reiki guides and just letting it come through as a light. And I know it's like a collective and there's all different kinds of beings and they're not getting too selective about which
Mhm.
ones. And same thing with the Akashic masters, teachers, and guides. They come through in one big, beautiful ball of light. And just focusing more on that frequency and that message is sometimes helpful for me. Versus
Yeah.
trying to decipher which ones are which. But you, as you know, like they each have their own frequency. So when one pops forward, it's Once you know that frequency, you know that's a Pleiadian coming through, or that's a Lyran coming through, and um, yeah, so I'd say it's pretty galactic and fun, and it's just
Yeah.
so cool to talk about it because I haven't had a whole besides the Reiki space, like in the Reiki classes and stuff. Like I was always very shy to talk about it.
Makes
And
sense. Yeah.
I was this
I hear
crazy
you.
girl. And but now it's like I claim it more, and
Mhm.
it gets easier with that, especially when you see when it's helpful for other starseeds who are trying to figure out why they don't feel like they've been here before and why they're having these experiences. So yeah, I do know it's part of the service.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Thanks for sharing. I'm just smiling
Sure.
over here. I was curious. So last night the Syrians came in and to like help me with a little headache that I had. I don't usually get headaches. So I was like, okay, I need some assistance. Who would be
Amazing.
best to like adapt to help me with this? And then so they came in and amazing. So I'm feeling so much better today. And I was just curious if you worked with the Syrians because I was like, they happened to show up last night. And I don't often have like a strong connection where they come in a lot, basically. It was very specific as to why they came in. So I was just like, oh, I wonder if you had them come in a lot on your healing sessions when you're doing the Reiki or any of, your readings and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was doing an Akashic reading, a Galactic Akashic reading and healing yesterday, and it was all Syrian coming
Okay.
through.
I had a
So there
feeling.
you go.
I was like, I think it has something like there's some kind of flow here. Yeah. That's awesome.
They're doctors that just
Yes.
the perfect ones for any kind of physical healing. I call them spiritual doctors, and so I'm glad that they could help you. And
Mhm. Me
yeah,
too.
isn't that
Yeah.
funny though? Like how we just start exchanging guides, and it's just so cool. Like I feel that with you too. I feel your guides working on me and opening me, and it's just really, really cool to observe the behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's so amazing that's one thing I love about Oracle, like meeting other channelers, because you mentioned I don't really have a space where I talk about certain things. And so when we get together every month as practitioners and we get to meet everybody and have that energy, and we can also tune into the teams that are around and the protection
And
and the assistance that's there. So I love it. And also our summit that's coming up. Maybe we chat a little bit about
do
that
it.
for listeners. Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, okay, so it's going to be on April 13th, and Allison and I will be hosting it. And we have a total of 8 channelers who are vetted through Oracle. And so everybody can join live. You sign up at oracle.com, and it's spelled with, let's spell it. It's ORYK. Oh my gosh, am I doing
You
right?
got it.
LE. I just
One L,
like
yeah. O
only
R
one L.
Y K L. It's a really cool spelling.
It
Yeah.
is a really cool spelling. Somehow I got it mixed up in my mind's eye and I was like, wait, it was kind of going backwards. Dyslexic,
Yeah.
I guess, in the ethers. But yes. So, and we'll put the link below. And if you go to oracle.com, then you'll be able to sign up. It's a free like gathering and experience. And I'm really excited because I like what we're just speaking about. I'm so intrigued and like fascinated with all of the assistance that's here and to be able to hear the questions first of all that people will be asking, but then the teams and their guidance and the higher level of perspective through other channelers. I think it's going to be amazing.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree. I feel like the house is going to be full. It's already full. It's like, and yeah, we've got so many amazing channelers and healers and then their guides. I just feel like there's a really cool variety of guides too that are going to come through, and it just should be a really fun and service oriented event. And I'm curious about the questions as well. It's really
Mhm.
cool. You guys will be able to ask your questions ahead of time. Those who register get to ask questions ahead of time and get priority. So make sure you register and and share your questions with us. And I just think it's going to be really cool. And this is, Amy, a great idea. This was all your initiative. And I think it's just such a great service. And to show also Oracle, which is um, helping to sort of maybe the word professionalize the spiritual
Mm,
therapist industry and to help the world see that this is a very helpful industry to people, and it's not just all woo woo or voodoo, and that it's very complementary to mainstream modalities of healing. And like you were saying, everybody is vetted, so everybody has been interviewed and shared their sessions and what they do with professional practitioners. And so we've got a really great crew. And I echo you when you say, when we hop on those calls, it's just such a good vibe,
yeah.
and so supportive to all of us, and just very expansive.
Yeah, I'm excited. So it's been a few months, but like we'll get messages about the future and then I'm like, okay, cool. We'll wait for divine timing, right? So, um, I've been getting the feeling of hosting a summit. And then a couple months ago, after our Oracle call with everybody, I could just feel all this energy pouring through me. And so yes, I kind of brought it up, but I have to share it's definitely spirit. Spirit's like, let's
Okay.
do this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time. Like, let's bring everyone together. So I'm
Mm.
also fascinated, like I mentioned, to the unfolding and everything that will come from it. And also, they're reminding me right now that everybody's giving a gift. So that's super cool too. So I'm excited to, like, in that way, get to meet other practitioners and their gifts that you all are giving, and I'm giving a gift to kind of get to know the work and just feel that light and support here on the planet. Because, yes, we're in a huge shift, we're in a huge time where for many of us, it might feel like just very wobbly or unstable. And so there's a lot of support here that comes through other mentors, other practitioners, for many of us too, like friends and family. I don't want to discount that. But when we're looking for that spiritual guidance, like you mentioned, it's becoming a little bit more accepted and sought after, and people are remembering and discovering their own gifts. So it's just a cool opportunity to meet others like in that kind of a space. So, and my mind keeps going to, you mentioned the different beings that will be channeling, and my mind keeps going to Katie, and she's going to be channeling the druids. And I'm like, I don't have experience with, I've never worked with the druids. Like, this is gonna,
Oh,
it's kind of
thanks. You're
intriguing.
a great introduction
Yeah.
for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very different types of beings and guides. So it's going to be really a cool introduction, because once we're introduced, like, and you get that frequency, uh, you have that connection forever.
Hmm.
You can always call upon it, or they might come through automatically in a healing or something, and you'll, oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like back in the day. Here's my phone number. So it's like you get the phone number, you get the way to connect with these beings after having that introduction. I love how you shared that.
A good
Yes.
analogy. Yes.
It's got your number. So one of the other questions I wanted to ask you was about your school and the classes that you're offering and what you might have come up, like what services are available.
Yeah, absolutely. So the school Inner Light Academy it's both a school and a spiritual community. And it's for healers, it's for empaths, energy sensitives, anyone on the path who wants to learn more or be supported on their spiritual journey, particularly like if you're interested in opening to your intuition more. So there are a variety of courses. There's Intuition Awakening. This is developing your clairsenses. There's Starseed Channeling, where we'll go through various starseed guides, including the galactics, angelics, the fairies, our higher selves, and learning how to channel, first of all, but also the different types of beings. Um, there's an online Reiki level 1 and 2 course, and a chakra transformation course as well that is not uploaded yet, but it will be soon. These are a lot of these courses I've done already outside of the new school, and I'm sort of just funneling them underneath a roof.
Mhm.
People to access. And then we have a free community meditation monthly where we meet online and some other free pop-up events. I have guests come on. I'd love to have you come on someday and share your gifts. And yeah, it's new. It's since February. It was definitely a spirit call, guidance. Like, you're going through Instagram these days, and there's just more fear and division energy than
Mhm.
connection, and it's hard to find your friends even sometimes. So I'm like,
Yeah.
people really need community, and that's the main thing. Is like right now, spiritual communities are really needed. The sangha is needed. So just following that guidance, and it's honestly such a beautiful vibe. We've got lots of healers and like sincere people on the path helping each other out and supporting each other. Great conversations happening through the chats and everything, and I'm just really pleased with it, and I'm excited for what it will grow into as well, and what it will offer.
Yeah. Oh, my heart is so happy. I'm smiling. It just makes me it just makes me so happy. And then when you said it's new, I was like, oh wow. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that. So that's
Yeah,
even more like
yeah,
exciting because of the birth of
yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to come on and support. So we'll chat
Perfect.
about it some, yeah, like after later, whenever it works. I would love to
Ah,
support
I
in
would
any
love
way I
that.
can because I'm with you. And it's funny you mentioned Instagram. I used to be so on Instagram all the time. The past season, I've just been felt to like go more with my groups offline
Yeah.
or on the podcast or just, not be on there and just do my life here in the physical world. So that's one thing that I'm in this season of balancing everything because I was going so like a lot of my energy has been in the spiritual space day to day. So readings and sessions and teaching and podcasts like for years. And this season is like, okay, spend some more time in the physical. So I have been spending more time, like you would say, maybe as like a quote, average human doing the human stuff
Totally get it.
to
Yeah.
keep that grounded
Just, yeah,
balance.
do the laundry, do the dishes,
Yes, yes. Like
go
just have a
outside,
day
the dogs, and yeah. Hmm.
right there, girl. Sit outside with the dogs. And yeah, so with nature. And we've moved here. It's been a year and a half now, but I'm still feeling like, oh, getting my bearings. And we have a beautiful space because there's birds everywhere and trees. There's forests all around and all the forest animals. And so it's very
So
healing,
perfect.
actually. Yeah,
So
yeah.
perfect. I've been dreaming of trees. I'm
Yeah,
like,
girl. You have to
that's why
come
I'm
out.
thinking Utah, and yeah, exactly. And
Mhm.
where you are, and just feeling those trees right now, and as much nature and grounding and stabilizing as we can right now. Or really feel like we're stabilizing this new crystalline grid of the earth right now. It
Mhm.
takes a lot of just, I think, grounding and yeah, like smaller communities coming together, and simplicity, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Being present with it. Yes,
present.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, sounds amazing. So, gosh, there's so much we could chat about. Share with everybody, like if they wanted to do you offer one-on-one sessions? What kind of services do you offer outside of your retreats and the school?
Awesome. So yeah, I do one-on-ones online and in person. I do Reiki healings, Akashic record readings, Galactic Akashic records readings, Reiki and channeling combined, mentorship, all intuitive. And so sometimes like there's combos happening, like we'll do Akashic, but Reiki is needed as well, or we'll do Reiki, but Akashic is needed as
Mhm.
so, and you can find that all on my website at allisoneaton.com.
Oh, love, love, love. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, well, thanks for chatting with me today. It's so cool to get to know you more
Oh,
and to
welcome.
share,
Likewise.
yeah, your light and your story with everyone. And if you guys want to meet and work with Allison. She's amazing. So I'll put all of your information in show notes below. And then, like, we would love for you all to come join us at the summit. We're so excited for this.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. And so you register at oracle.com, and then that gives you an opportunity to come onto the Zoom. And it also gives you an opportunity to submit your question and get all the free gifts from 8 awesome channelers. And then if you maybe, let's say you're watching this in the future, you can still probably go back, but it'll also be posted or live going out to Facebook at the Oracle's page and their YouTube channel. So we're new to getting it all with the logistics of technology. That's why I'm excited. We got it to work today.
Yes,
Here
yes, we
live.
did. Forces
Yeah.
combined. Those Syrians maybe had something to do with that too.
You know what? They might have. I was thinking, yeah, of course that makes sense. So, but yeah, girl, I'm loving it so much. And
Oh, same.
thanks for joining today, Allison. I so appreciated it.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me. See you next time.
You're welcome. And bye, everyone. I'll see you next time for the upcoming episode on the Spirit and Soul Healing